All I can say, Desiree, is that students here, we can see that there's so much confusion that is happening at this specific campus here in Zastron. It's all about the NSFAS allocations and also the failure of management to address issues that are faced by the students at this campus. And we understand that 4 of the students were suspended because there were allegations vested that they wanted to set the campus alight. But we understand now from the management that their suspension have been lifted because they're supposed to be writing examinations. We know that now it's time whereby they are sitting down for examinations. Now I understand even one of them is writing examination, but there's still some confusion and it's a bit tense as we were talking to the students, trying to find out exactly the root of this issue. And we understand that they're still saying that they want the management to come forward to address these issues of NSFAS allowances. They want also to see the documents of NSFAS, the financial documents, because they're saying that it's unfair that they receive money that is not constant. What they are asking is that why is the money not constant? And some saying that they did apply for accommodation allowances and they are not receiving the accommodation allowances. But with me, I'll be joined by some of the students who are having their different challenges at this campus. You shared with me earlier on about your challenges. Let's take it back. You said you are from the Eastern Cape and you are here now at this campus here in the Free State, specifically in Zastron. What challenges of NSFAS have you received so far?
I applied for NSFAS January. When I got here, I'm an info student. I do marketing info. I come from Engcobo. So when I applied for NSFAS, I applied for accommodation and personal care. But later in the year, I found out that I only received transport, whereas I applied for accommodation. Then when I came here, we made a strike. So when we wanted to find out, we were told that only here in Zastron we only qualify for transport. So I was asking myself, how can I get transport when I come from Eastern Cape? That's very far. That's not even 40 kilometers from here. So that's my issue with NSFAS.
But did you manage to give all the required documents that were needed for you to qualify to have an accommodation here?
Yes, ma'am. I gave out all the documents, and I was told that I need to give out my proof of registration. My proof of address from where I come from and proof of address where I stay here. I even gave them an affidavit showing that I do not live here and I come from Eastern Cape. And then when I did all that, they still told me that I do not qualify for transport. For accommodation, I only qualify for transport, and I only got 5,125 rand. That's not even enough to cover my cost for accommodation, my groceries, and everything else. How am I supposed to live with 5,000 rand for like 5 months, like 6 months? Because my rent is expensive, my food is expensive, my toiletries are expensive. I am a girl. How am I supposed to live with 5,125 for 6 months?
These are just some of the issues that are being raised by the students. I'm just going to be joined by one of the students who were suspended regarding this issue of NSFAS. What's the situation now? I understand that the suspension has been lifted and you are back, you are writing your examination.
Yes, it is true. We were suspended, but now it is uplifted, and we went back to write our exams. And the management promised they will attend to our issues. But we are still scared because, as a student, we are in a position of bursary guidelines of 2020, which we believed the institution should comply with. So I am scared now that this matter will be solved while the management is still intimidating students, threatening students with all their powers and whatsoever. Yes.
But we understand that these allegations are following the WhatsApp message that was making rounds that you guys allegedly wanted to set the school alight.
Yes, it was. It did appear in our WhatsApp group message, but that's not an issue on hand. Yes, because it was just one post and it was not even entertained. But we were surprised when we had a notice from SABC saying we tried to to hand hostage the principal of the college and try to alleged to set up the school alight, which is completely not the truth. And that the reason why we are so confused, why the institution will drive this matter in such a way, while we have these issues, and then they try to make this matter again is as if it is us who have problems as the students.
But tell us the decision to lift the suspension. What did the management say? Why did they reach that decision?
That's the other thing that we don't understand, why we were suspended and suddenly the suspension was lifted and came back to and allowed back to write our exams. Yes, while we have the issue on hand, which we expect to be solved, man.
All right, that's one of the students here, the one who was suspended, of course, saying that it's still a confusion because now they were not called by the management to try to address the issue as to why did their suspension lifted. But we understand that they are back in class, they are also writing examinations. We'll be talking to the management and to understand why there's these allegations leveled against them about their communication, and also that there's no NSFAS office at this campus whereby if students are inquiring problems, they can go and inquire there. And also with the issue of documentations, we understand that it's only them who can be able to receive the documents on behalf of the students. So the situation remains like that, and the management is just around. We will talk to them and just give you an update as to what's happening at the moment now.
So much there to Aphumelele. On to another story of interest.